All right, it's a good morning. Filling the car up. Probably about 15-20 miles away from the track. Sorry. Yeah, so gonna grab some breakfast here in just a few, and then go ahead and head up to the track and go ahead and tech in. I did have a little bit of an adventure already. Coming off the interstate, I start heading north towards the track. Heard a clunking noise that I did not like from the right front tire, and pulled over, put the car up in the air, checked it. Nothing out of the ordinary seemed like it was happening. Everything was tight. Retorqued everything, put the wheel back on, continued on. So that's in the back of my head while while I'm getting to the track, and everything else on the suspension is new. It's tight, it's verified, I've double checked it, but still now, yeah, super uneasy. All right, so sitting here in line waiting for tech. It's looking like a gorgeous morning. It's 52 outside right now. It's gonna get to high of 82 by like 2:30, 3 o'clock. So perfect weather. Yeah, hopefully the car techs in correctly. Looks like it will. It doesn't look like they're doing anything too aggressive. Here's why I don't take late point bys. This guy tried to give me a point by right coming into the braking zone, and as we look into the apex, there's a Miata that locked up and it went off. That's why I don't take late point bys. Probably could have gotten away with it, but not really worth it in my opinion. A little later in the lap, car gives me the same point by. Also, coming up pretty hard on this Lotus Evora. However, he did not see me or pay attention to me, so I had to back way off, and I'll end up staying behind him until the front straight. This is a combination of me being more familiar with this track than the driver's from New York, and yeah, I'm more familiar with it and I have a better line through. So even while I'm still trying to go very slowly here, I'm still easily catching him through this area. And then coming out here onto the front straight, he gives me the point by on the wrong side. So the instructor did say clear communication is important. If they give it to you, they move out of the way, take it. So I took it. Skipping ahead a couple laps onto the climbing S's behind the Mercedes AMG, or yeah, I think it's AMG GT. And again, this is still first session. A lot of the people are from up north and don't know this track very well. They're being quite cautious, as they should be. I just wish they would have been in the mirrors a little bit more. This guy gives me the point by coming up. Perfect. And there's a GT3 that was coming behind me, so I let him by right there, just because he just got the point by from the AMG as well, and yeah, it's a fast car. However, as we start to watch the rest of this little chase section, he's got probably 150, 200 more horsepower than I do. Better tires, better brakes, better everything. But again, familiarity with the track starts to come in, where I start to reduce the time in these corners. And then coming onto the front straight, he's going to pull away from me again. And unfortunately, I hear his car more than I hear my own when I'm following, even this far away. Not knowing where his braking point, he started to brake at the 6. I would have loved to start braking around the 4, but again, not knowing the driver, it's still session 1.
Just be chill. He went wide there. This section is where I was making most of my time on this, on the GT3. Is coming through turn 4. And we didn't know it yet, but still can't see the flag. There was no yellow flag on that flag station. However, there was a Kia Stinger out here that is just disabled.
Alright, so on grid before session 2, I'm going to push maybe 5% harder. Still took the first session really easy. Brakes were fine, car was fine. I'm going to work on getting my braking zones back to where they were on my last trip to VIR. Let's go get to it.
Alright, so session 2 coming in on our 4th lap, behind a 718 GT4 car, another really quick car, and its horsepower definitely is more than mine. But he gave me the point by here. And unfortunately, a lot of the drivers are still giving point bys to the left on the front straight, which is not what we should be doing at VIR. So we try to give the point by to the inside of the turn, so it'd be over our car to the right. Now coming up to the snake, get a point by from the Miata. Thanks. I'm not sure the Lotus could have given me a safe point by at that point, but he ends up seeing me a little bit later. As we continue up the uphill S's, I'm on maintenance throttle and a little bit of brakes just to get through here. So he actually just gave me the point by at the number 5, You can kind of hear my voice in the background. What? No! Yeah, I'm thankful that he's thinking of it and he's aware and he sees me, but I'm absolutely not taking that point by. He just gave it to me now, and time to gas it up and go. Alright, so this is my fastest lap of session 2. I think I end up getting down to 2:21. Braking zones are still elongated more than they need to be, but that's alright. Should have carried a lot more speed through there. I really need to work on that transition from 4A to 4B, smoothing it out. Alright, turn 10. Still had probably half a car's width there, but it's terrifying to use all of it. Yeah, not the best of passes through Oak Tree, but so well. Same Mercedes. Again, session 2, I'm not too worried about it. It does cost me some time on this lap, but again, it's HPDE. Did give me the point by on the right side this time, so thankful for that. And let's continue on to the line.
All right, so just finished out lunch and last classroom session of the day, and getting ready to go for our third session today. I'm actually going to pick up an instructor on this session just to see if there's some input that he's going to be able to give. I know areas that I want to improve on and what I'm doing to work on it, but just to get an outside perspective because he's available. One thing that's pretty interesting is this whole section of the paddock is pretty much empty. So with SCDA, there's probably 1/10 of the drivers, participants, support vehicles as what you'd see at a NASA weekend. Granted, there's no racing, it's just HPDE for SCDA, where NASA has time trial that has actual racing, 2 different classes. Then it has the HPDE side of things. So there's a significant amount of people compared to what they have here. It makes the sessions run smoother, but there's actually now like 30 minutes minimum between you having to do something and getting ready to go get the car ready for grid. So it's definitely a much more relaxed time frame. Yeah, that's kind of what I've been recognizing. So I've got 18 minutes before needing to be back on grid. So I'm gonna go ahead and set pressures. I'm thinking about setting a GoPro up to have with my phone on the lap timer. But yeah, we'll see. We'll give it a shot. All right, well, I thought I was gonna get an instructor for this go around, but he was still coming off the track when we started to be let onto the track. So I'm gonna optimize my time and
skip having him with me. Yeah, so third session, got camera 1, and then the phone as second camera, or vice versa, whichever. Yeah. I do know that the slowest car in the field is behind me, so that's good. However, I've got 2 Miatas and an ATS-V in front of me. So I think I'll have some overtakes to do.
So here we are, behind the ATS-V at the end of the first lap. Gives me the point by, getting to the right, which is the correct side here at VIR. And I also left this 911 by, I think it was a 997 generation. And caught up to the car that started behind me. So this is the late 80s, early 90s Civic. He just gave me a point by between 3 and 4, which I'll gladly take. However, sets me up for a pretty bad line coming into 4. And let's go ahead and skip on to Oak Tree. Gave me the point by from quite a bit of ways back, so much appreciated. I don't have to let off any. And then we're back here against this ATS-V again, on lap 7 now. And coming into end of lap 8. Here's a 240. Had a little bit of a lockup, went wide. And it's going to be leading me into, I believe, my fastest lap of the day. So sacrificing some exit speed coming onto the front straight. Again, I'm not good enough to really capitalize on that, but I'm having to wait until he pulls out of the way, and then now I can go full power in. I give this Audi a point by. So Orlando drives this Audi R8. Super great guy, super nice to talk to. He had been following me for the first handful of laps, just trying to see what my line is and improve his, just because he had never been to this track. But he's got power, he's got grips, and he's got brakes. Much better than mine on any of those categories. Earlier in the day, this complex is where I would make up a bunch of time on Orlando, but now that he's got the line a bit better, I've got nothing for that car. It's driving out of my life. I know he was working on this corner just as a single turn, not as a double apex turn. So that's why I did make up some time there at the Oak Tree. But again, I don't know what the car makes power-wise, but more than my bone stock C6 power. Still could be carrying this braking zone a fair bit deeper, so I'm effectively off the brake as I'm setting up for top of roller coaster. charge to the line. I think I tried to stay pretty close to the right, all the way through the finish line. Just
all right, well, that's the end of today. And yeah, my seat is my failure. So back of my seat has the ratchets to be able to recline. Yeah, that tooth, or whether it's the gear side or the pawl side, one of them gave way. So now seat doesn't hold me stable while turning, especially turning to the right. Unfortunate that I did have mechanical, but mechanical for the seat that retired the car. Oh well, not much I can do, but it is pretty out here. A good day at the track is better than a good day at work. Hell, a bad day at the track is still better than a day at work. So I'll take it. All right, well, disappointing day. I don't know how much of the other outro is usable audio, but yeah, my seat now does the gangster lean from other car generation stereotype. Fox body Mustangs used to do it real bad because people would lean this way, so that's the way it would lean. However, mine now does this. Quite annoying. Would have loved to end the day on a high note, but some days you just don't have it. Today is one of those days. Car mechanically is fine. Stock seats are known to be terrible. However, the cost to do a seat properly is not a small thing. The seat itself is going to be $800 to $1,000. Harnesses, $250, $300. One second, make this turn. Harnesses, call it $300, so now we're at $1,300. Seat mounting hardware for the Corvette, call it another $300. We're at $1,600. So $1,600 for the seat, harness, and bracket. That does not include the other things that are needed. Like, I need something for my harnesses to go to. So bare minimum would be a harness bar that goes across the back of the seats, goes into the B-pillar. That, multiple $100 to $1,500, depending on which one you want and how high or low of quality. But then if you're doing that, might as well actually put a half cage in, or a full cage. Got some thinking to do. All right, so back home, realized I didn't really record an outro for this. Yeah, so overall, track day went well. Shaved 4.9 seconds off my PR time. And I did sacrifice a little bit on that fastest lap to let someone go who was faster than me. All in all, it was a good experience. Wish my seat didn't break, but here we are. The constant evolution of the car getting better as I get better and find the next weakest link. Thanks for watching. If you do want, please like, comment, subscribe, any of that to help drive up some of the algorithm. Thanks.